Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us again today. We are stoked you're here. Like always, of course, we're always happy you're here because it's great to be with our friends. It's great to share stories. It's great to uplift people. It's great to uplift ideas and brands and things that are doing something good. And today is no exception. I want you guys to give it up for my friends down in Georgia today. We were going to the South. We're going deep, deep South today, talking to my friend. Please welcome the Director of Sales and Marketing at LG Herndon Junior Farms, which I swore I'm only going to say it like that one time the rest of the show. That's it. It's over. Please welcome my friend, John Williams. Welcome, my brother. I'm glad you're here.
Hi, Todd. Thanks for having me. And yes, Herndon Farms from here on out.
Oh yeah, there's just no way. I will absolutely butcher the whole. I got to look at it every time. LG Herndon Junior Farms. I'm going to butcher it every time. I just know I am. So I'm not even going to try. We're going to lean in to the Herndon Farms because that's what you all guys are about anyways, is Herndon Country Farm. Farming in beautiful Georgia, growing some Vidalia. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff today. And we're going to talk about a project that you guys are working on that is near and dear to me. And I'm excited about that. But before we get there, let's fill everybody in and who you are, because you truly are a great story, great personal story about what you're doing. I mean, not only are you out there kicking butt, driving sales and marketing, I'm going to say it again for LG Herndon Junior Farms. I'm sticking to it now. I can't quit. I'm going to keep going. But you've got a pretty good personal journey to where you are today. I mean, you're Georgia born and raised, kind of left home, you came back and the whole 9 yards. So if you wouldn't mind, kind of fill everybody in on who you are and what you're up to, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of everything.
Okay, sounds good. Yes, born in Toombs County, Vidalia, Georgia. Raised there, big family, a lot of uncles and aunts and cousins, and grew up just south of the city of Vidalia in Toombs County, which is where Vidalia is, and had a great childhood, teenage years, and my family wasn't in farming to say, right, although my uncle did a little bit of farming and actually grew some Vidalia onions, and we could talk about that in a little bit. But, when I got I did enough traveling growing up to know I wanted to do a little bit more. So
why get serious? Yeah. Why get serious when you're young, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I had some offers to, go to a trade school and learn a trade and start working immediately. I thought, no, I'm not quite ready for that yet. So
love it.
Went to a small school in Tennessee for a year and a half, outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And then I transferred to a college in the mountains of North Carolina, Appalachian State, and just had a wonderful time there. I was there 2.5 years and just made some great friends, and someone who grew up in South Georgia where the summers are, July and August are 100 degrees. It was nice being in those mountains the time I was there.
Yeah, it's a little balmy in July and August in Georgia, no doubt.
Oh, it's nuts. So I always prefer the cold over the heat now. But after college, I like most I graduated with a degree in marketing and advertising, but didn't know what I wanted to do with my life still. So right. I did several things. I worked for a church. I did youth work for a church, and then I was in construction for a few years, and then I got my real estate license, and I did real estate for a few years, and then I was actually playing bass in a band, and we were traveling all over trying to get a record deal.
Okay, what's the name of the band? Come on, got to be good. Come on, you're in trouble. Lay it on me. Are they on YouTube? Come on.
Yeah, there probably are some videos floating around YouTube. Airspace was the name of the band. So
not bad.
There you go.
Not bad. I mean, were you guys a hair band? Because I mean, I think of Airspace, I'm thinking Air Supply, I'm thinking hair band.
No, yeah, that's what it sounded like. No, we weren't a hair band. It was rock and roll, original music.
I love it.
Yeah, two of the guys in the band were from Northern Ireland, so we had that British influence, and
I love it.
Me and the drummer were from the States, but I went to New York a bunch, out to Nashville, and then we even did a European little tour. So
that's
it was
legit.
fun. I wasn't married at the time. Yeah, European tour just makes it sound legit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, if you had a face tattoo, that would make it legit, but you don't. So I'm going to go, European tour makes it legit.
That's right. But that was a lot of fun, and got married, and then never did get a record deal. And so it was kind of like, shit or get off the pot. So
yeah, for sure.
So I decided to, the band broke up, and we decided, me and my wife had just gotten pregnant with our first daughter. And so I thought, it's kind of time for a career. And we decided to move back to my hometown. My wife's originally from Mississippi, but we decided to move back to South Georgia. And
bam,
that was it.
You're back on but you grew up, but you came from it. So it's not like that zip code. You're in a farming community when you're a kid, right? So no matter what, whether you farmed or not, it's in your blood, right? It's a part of your community culture. And then to come back home, because you saw those morals and values when you were a kid. You saw what that life was like. You saw that parking lot filled up at church on a Sunday. You saw, the family barbecue. To your own point, having a large family get-togethers and all this. It's a part of that culture that is the South, which makes it so beautiful to be down there and amongst friends that are there. So I could see where you'd come back home. The band thing didn't work. The face tattoo. Obviously, if you got a face tattoo, that would have been the record deal for you. But whatever. You should have called. You should have called me. I would have told you. I'd have given you great advice. My opening advice was face tattoo. Where do you go from there? But to be able to come back and do that, and then and have that heritage, and then be sitting on the farm now, a part of something that is really spectacular. Part of what you guys are doing is really, really cool. Not only what you all are growing, which we're going to talk about a little bit, but again, we're going to lean into, getting deeper about what your mission is and your purpose and why you guys are doing it, because I think it's just, it's spectacular. So let's talk a little bit about the history, though, of the farm, if we can. Give people a little frame up of, what LG Herndon Junior Farms, boom, I nailed it again, is up to.
Well, just to finish, my connection with Herndon Farms is I'm not a family member. But our two families grew up in the same community outside of Vidalia. So the Herndons, my grandfather and our owner's father knew each other well, were friends. And then my dad and the Herndons. So there's a long history there. Well, when we moved back, I actually started working for my uncle in construction. Just a job right off the bat, but
sure.
It's like, what else is out there? I didn't want to stay in what I was doing there. Well, Bo Herndon, the owner of the farm, was looking for someone to be his warehouse manager. And again, I knew the Herndons. I knew they were good people. I didn't know. That's about all I knew about them, honestly. And
that's enough. That's enough sometimes.
That's it. And I went and talked to him about the job and decided to take that job as at the time the warehouse manager. And so that's what put me there. And
cool.
That started a whole deal for me. That was 12 years ago now, or 12 and a half years ago. But a little history about the farm is Bo, still our owner and operator now. He started the farm in 1978. So it's, the farm's been in production for about 43 years now. And it started with a small piece of land. Bo had some uncles in Southwest Georgia that farmed, and he would go spend the summers there, and just wanted to do it himself. And at the time he was working for the power company in Georgia, having to travel and all, and he didn't like that lifestyle. So he went to his mother and said, "Hey, I would like to farm." And she said, "Okay, well, let's go to the bank." And they went to the bank and sat down and had a meeting about getting some money to be able to buy a piece of land. And that's where it started for Bo.
Wow.
That's kind of the rest is history. He just kept building
cool
it year after year. Yeah.
Can you imagine going to the bank with your mom's, but that was back in the day when you go to the bank with your mom and ask them for money to be like, "Okay, what are you going to do?" Right nowadays, it's like not quite the same. It's not quite the same MO as it used to be. But how cool would that be? Talk about being invested into this concept and this idea, right? That leap of faith. You put all your eggs in one basket, per se, and you go do this. And now look, 40 plus years later, you guys are out taking on the world, doing great and big things. So let's talk a little bit about, what you all grow. Obviously the Vidalia onion part we're going to get into. I want to get into that a little bit deeper, but what else do you guys do, besides that?
Thanks for joining the Todd-versation. And now a word from our sponsor. This episode of Todd-versations is brought to you by Viva Tierra. Viva Tierra, organic to the core. Connect with us at vivatierra.com.
Yeah, well, the Vidalia onions were one of his first crops that he grew.
Right.
Along with that was greens, leafy greens,
Yeah.
collards. At the time, kale wasn't a big item, but mustards and turnips and all. So that was one of his first crops too. He grew some watermelons back then, and
Right.
probably some cabbage and all. So, but in the summertime, in the wintertime, he would cut firewood for people. I mean, he just did all he could.
What it took
to put money back into the farm. His wife Jill works outside of the home, and so they just worked all they could to build what the farm is today. And then in the mid '90s, we added sweet corn into the production. So we have a program on sweet corn just in the summer time for about 6 weeks there. So our three main items now are sweet corn, sweet onions, which is Vidalia onions, and we also import sweet onions. So we have a program on sweet onions year round, and then leafy greens, bunch greens, and packaged greens.
Well, right. Your packaged greens are super interesting. Your super fit greens. Talk about those a little bit, because I think it's a first of all, it's an incredibly healthy item.
Yeah.
When you talk about throwing kale, all these other things, I mean, these are these dark greens that are super good for your body, super good for a lot of factors inside of our lives. So talk about that a little bit. Why did you guys start this? Why did it, how did it get to the point of, because it's legit. I mean, it's you guys are packaged, it's out there, it's rocking and rolling, and share a little bit why these all matter to everybody and why they should matter, if you would.
Sure. Well,
yeah,
like I said, we were growing leafy greens, and in the 80s and 90s, bunch greens were very big and popular. You buy a mess of greens at the store and you take them home and you wash them and clean them. And people still do that. And
absolutely.
We still cut them like that as well. But 6 years ago, we built a processing facility right there on the farm to be able to, chop and wash and package all these items as well. And it was definitely a leap of faith. We had customers that would, that we could talk to about it, but whether it would go, we didn't know. But we knew that business had changed with convenience coming on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
We either knew that we were going to probably have to sell to a processor, another label, or we were going to start our own. So we decided to do that. And, and thinking of the name and kind of the mission, we wanted to, I was actually inspired by the Eat Smart label. I love that, even that mission in their name. And that's kind of what we wanted with the Superfit Greens. We wanted to inspire consumers to think healthy while they're in the produce department and looking to try greens like that. So it's been awesome for us. It's every year we've seen growth. So we package our label, and we're also doing several private labels with customers, and it's a year-round program. So we have greens on our farm. We pull greens out of Florida for January and February and into March, and then the different growing areas that are cooler in the summertime. So June, July, and August, we're pulling out of the north.
I love it. No, look, it's a great item. When I checked it out, I was like super, super cool. And I love what it's about, right? And I think that it's important. It's items. I mean, it's really, when you look from a health perspective, it'd be great if we could figure out how to make this palatable or get kids to start eating like this when they're younger, because this is such a healthy source of nutrition that is so really, really is obtainable, right? I mean, it's not, you're not going to have a hard time going to the store to find stuff like this, because it's, and it's such a health benefit. So I commend you guys for doing it and sticking to it. But, you said something about taking a leap of faith. Walking into the bank with his mom was the ultimate leap of faith. And so for somebody like Bo to go off and do something different like that leap of faith is, it comes almost naturally in some ways, because that inspiration comes from leaps of faith, right? So for him to go off and do that and get so committed to it, like he is to his farm, I can see that. I can see why it's so successful. I think he just wakes up with, he's got that inner commitment every day. Yeah. And you can see why it goes off. I love it. So,
to finish a little story about that's funny that Bo always tells is when they went to the bank to get the money, the banker said, Miss Herndon, Bo don't know anything about farming. And she said, we didn't come for advice. We came to get the money.
Damn right. Don't mess with mom. Don't mess with mom. I
love that story. Right. She had faith in him as well.
Absolutely.
And that's just an awesome story.
I love that. What a source of inspiration that's got to be for him all the time. He's got to be reflective upon that. Back at that age too. Go back and think about that. Oh, that's beautiful. Right. So let's chat a little bit about these onions, because I think this is such a cool project you have. I want to lean into this and get into it. But before we do that, and I was talking about this with you earlier, I bet if we lined up 10 people in a room, I bet you five of them cannot tell you the story of what is a Vidalia onion. What does it mean? What's the reality? What's the what a great marketing and branding idea Vidalia onions are. So I'm gathering that people don't know this. So if you wouldn't mind, could you just give everybody kind of like what the hell is a Vidalia onion? Why does it have that name, and how does it work?
Okay, I'll do my best. Well, it was kind of came about by accident. Back in the 30s, they were growing some onions in that area, and there was a late freeze, and a guy lost some of his onions, so he got some transplants and put them in, and unbeknownst to him, they were sweet onions, and they came off, the variety that he planted came off really sweet, and he was kind of bummed out. He didn't know how he would even sell these sweet onions. But then word got around, and this was in the 30s now, word got around, and people enjoyed them and liked them. And so it kind of started from there. And the reason is because that area has it's sandy soil. And so the sulfur leaks out of that land. And so it's real low sulfur levels, which makes the onion sweet. So that kind of started it off. And so for the next few decades, that brand started growing. That they weren't calling them Vidalia onions. Well, maybe some of them were. Some of them were calling them Toombs County onions and Lyons. So
Toombs County. I'm gonna go. That would not have been up on the board. That would have not got round one of the board names to pick.
Right. So they kept growing. I think in the 60s they were growing about 600 acres. Between all the growers at the time, but it continued to grow, and then I think 1986 they got protection from the state of Georgia, a marketing order. So it says that you can only grow a Vidalia onion in 20 counties in Georgia.
Correct.
13 full counties, and then partials of 7 others. So it's just a small little area that you can grow, and you can recognize the Vidalia by its shape. It's a flat onion, and its color. It's this golden, has this golden husk to it. And then 1989, it got recognized on the federal level and got a federal marketing order. And there's, a list of people who contributed and helped with that. But it's a protected brand now.
Yeah.
The state of Georgia owns that brand. And then you have growers that are registered growers
that can use it.
That's right.
Yeah. And all started in Vidalia County, right there. I mean, it's legit. Right. I don't think people, they look at it like, like a Vidalia is actually a variety. It's not. It's a zip code. It's a place. It's a concept. It's a great. I mean, it's an amazing story when you look at the history of this onion and what it's done, for your county, what it's done for the state of Georgia, what it's done for consumer consumption. Because it's a damn good onion. To your point, it's a sweet onion. It's not, you ain't going to be cutting that thing up crying. You're going to be cutting that thing up going, this is awfully good, right?
I growing up, we had a Vidalia Onion Festival, and I was one year I was in an onion eating contest, and my cousin beat me out, and but I ate about 6 or 7 full onions raw in about the 5-minute period they gave us. So I don't think there's too many people that's been in a Vidalia onion eating contest, but
I assure you no. But so I gotta ask the question, because I'm sure everybody asked, Joey Chestnut the question after 150 hot dogs or whatever he is. How were you 5 minutes after the competition ended? Let's be honest.
A little nauseous.
A little. Okay. Enough said. You don't have to say anymore. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with that question. We'll leave it go with that. That's perfectly fine. If you put it this way, if you were a little nauseous, I can only guess what Joey Chestnut had to be after eating 150 hot dog, whatever the hell he eats. I'm out. I'm done.
Right.
I'm done. One of the things that you guys have always done, which I thought was really, really cool, and I'm going to set this up because I'm going to lean into where we're heading on this with the Gary Sinise Foundation. But you guys got a pretty rich history giving back locally and being a part of the community and stuff. And when you think about his mom, you think about Bo's mom going to the bank, and you think about that connection into the community, because you went to the community bank. You didn't take off to Atlanta. You're talking about the community bank, people who know people grew up with each other, this and that. So share a little bit about why giving back matters to the family, if you wouldn't.
Well, I just think being around the family, being around Bo and the group of people that we work with, it's, you work hard, for a reason, for your family, and for others that, come and need help. Now we've not done something to the level that we're doing with the Gary Sinise Foundation, but I think we've always looked for where we could help and give back.
Right.
Whether it's a church doing a project, a ministry that needed some trees taken out to build another building beside of it, or an employee that we have that needed a road put in. I mean, you can help people in many different ways. And
Absolutely.
I just think caring for each other, treating people how you would want to be treated is kind of the core of what we do. And I've seen it being around Bo and being around others in the family, and learned a lot myself from that. So
I love it.
This deal that we're going to talk about with Gary Sinise is new as far as a project like this, but it's been on our hearts for a while to do something like this, and kind of how we work.
I love it.
Work
I love it. I want to get into it because I think it's great. When your team reached out and we started talking, I think it took me all of about 5 minutes to go back. I'm in, right?
Yeah.
You got my, right? Because this is because it's something I believe, right?
Yeah.
And what Gary's doing with his foundation is outstanding. And you guys are, to your point, you're going up a notch by working with the Gary Sinise Foundation. And for those that don't know, and I'm going to let you explain a little bit, but I'm going to just kind of get on the soapbox here a little bit. Gary's foundation is about defenders and veterans and first responders, their families and those folks that are in need. And he's got a quote on here that I'd like to read to kind of set this up, and I'll let you talk about it for yourself. But I just thought this was really, really powerful and something we're sharing with the audience. And it says, freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand in times of need to those willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little more. And I think that's a really powerful statement, which is why I was so excited knowing that about this organization a little bit, to have you guys come on and share this. So let's talk about the Gary Sinise Foundation. Why don't you just share up? I'm going to throw you 2 questions at once and let you just run with the answer. Talk a little bit about the foundation, if you wouldn't mind. I framed up a little bit. If you want to add to it, that'd be awesome. And then, kind of a little bit about what they're about. And let's start with that, and we'll see where it takes us from there.
Sure. Well, like you said, he's done some amazing work over the years. And in 2014, he started the foundation, I think, to probably just put some parameters on the work he was doing. And they have some amazing programs throughout their organization or throughout the foundation. One of their programs, RISE, Restoring Independence, Supporting Empowerment. And they'll actually build a home mortgage-free for someone who's lost a limb, or needs that help. That's a smart home for that individual, for that veteran. And also they just they'll outfit a vehicle or a home for someone who needs that help. So the list is very long, all the programs that they're doing. So you can go to their website and find out more.
It's amazing what they're doing. I mean, it is a very, very worthy organization, to say the least.
Sure. I agree with that. We and I might be taking a question away from you, but we had it on our hearts for a couple of years to do something for veterans and active duty. And I'll just tell the story of connecting with them. I had a friend who I met through SCPC. She was working for the Palmer home that the SCPC works with, and I just happened. So we wanted to do something, but we didn't know where or who to do it with,
Right.
And I saw where her name, Sarah Hollis, was going to work for the Gary Sinise Foundation, and that rang a bell, and I thought I knew who that was, and so I looked.
Lieutenant Dan.
That's right. I looked up the foundation. I thought, bam, this is it. Mm-hmm. So I contacted Sarah, and Sarah said, "John, I've been here one week. Let me, I don't know much, but I'm so excited. You're want to do something. Let me, put you in contact with the right people." So we all started talking, and it came together pretty quickly. And what they're doing is what we want to do. And
absolutely.
So that's kind of it.
Well, this is so exciting. So what you guys are doing with these guys, and the partnership that you have, is that you guys are going to have onions in a branded onion bag that represents the Gary Sinise Foundation. Beautiful bag, logos on the backdrop behind me. You're going to put this onion out. You got a couple different promotional dates that are coming up. You got one coming up for Memorial Day, which is a fantastic time to do it, which is May 16th through the 30th. You got a second promotion coming up for the 4th of July, which starts June 20th and runs through July 4th. And it's really about putting these onions out and getting this message out. It's a branded marketing campaign, with your beautiful onions in those bags, pushing that out there to consumers, elevating this message, showing your support about an organization that we both totally agree. And I think people that don't know, get on the website and find out. You'll be on our team with us too, that agree that this is such a worthy cause. So it's super exciting to see what you guys are doing. And I'm a big believer that, when consumers have an opportunity to vote with their dollars, it's very meaningful. And you're giving them that opportunity. You're connecting some morals and values back to your brand and to your onions and back to your retailers. It's a beautiful program, man. It's really great. You talk about it took a while to find this on your heart. How did and you ran into your friend, this and that. Was it kind of that epiphany moment, like, oh shit, this is the deal. We need to do this one. Or was it, what I mean? Was it like, how did it kind of come about, or how did the idea kind of finally nail you?
Exactly. We hadn't really gone down the road with anybody else or started any other talks. I know there's some good, there's some others that are doing really good work with veterans. There's government programs. There's
sure.
Wounded Warrior but yeah, I think when we saw and just having that connection with Sarah too, it always helps. Not
absolutely.
Starting from scratch or having someone that that was could tell us about the foundation more than we could just read online. So it just came together really quickly. Just to go into the promotion, it will be a co-branded bag. We'll do it for Memorial Day and 4th of July, 2 weeks leading up to both of those holidays. And we're asking our customers if they wanted to put those, it'll be in a 2, 3, 4 pound bag, whatever they want to take. And if they want to promote them, that would be great. So but even if they don't promote them as an ad item, it'll still be in some beautiful packaging, co-branded with the Vidalia name, and some, like you say, we'll put the best onions in there. And we're excited to raise awareness and also some money for the foundation.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So the promotion, is basically about awareness, which I think, a lot of times promotions get stuck in a rut of being all about the dollar amount, which, don't get me wrong, that's incredibly important, but awareness is as important in a lot of ways in the dollar amount. And so I think what you guys are doing, because I've seen your packaging, I've seen the mock-ups of what's going to be. It's a beautiful bag. It's gonna pop on the shelf, no doubt. So let's talk about a little bit. There's a QR code on the bag, and I want to talk a little bit about the money you're trying to raise. Let's, obviously getting people to understand what's going on is important, but hey, let's talk about the dollar amount too, because you all are stepping up. This isn't a dollar promotion. This got some legitimacy to it. And I'm excited to talk about that.
That's right. Well, I think we're all used to scanning QR codes after the couple of years with COVID and going to restaurants and all. So I know that's kind of come back more on the scene, which is kind of a great thing. And now you can use your camera and all. So yeah, that's up front. When you scan that QR code, you'll go to a special page that tells you more about the foundation and actually gives consumers the opportunity to give themselves if they wanted to.
Awesome.
But you can read more about the foundation and raise awareness that way. We're giving 5% of our gross sales for those. It'll be 4 weeks total, but we're committed to at least $25,000 to give to the Gary Sinise Foundation from our company. And obviously we love consumers to join in on that where they can.
Absolutely. What a great idea. What a great promotion. What a great cause. The whole night. And a perfect time of the year. Memorial Day, 4th of July. Yeah. What better time to elevate veterans and first responders? Let's not, they're a big part of this too, right? Yeah. They need to be, it's all in the same. They need one word for them all, right? Because they're all
heroes.
Yeah, exactly right. Thank you for that. I'll take that. Boom. For you. I'll drop the shopper on that one. Heroes. I love that. But something that a promotion like this does, obviously we're talking about awareness to the consumer and awareness to the retailers and et cetera, but there's something that happens, I think, at the company level when you get behind a program like this. I've been a part of it in my career. People at the farm start to embrace this and they start to feel good about this in a lot of ways. Can you talk a little bit about how the company culture has embraced this and what it's meant to you guys as an organization to really put your morals and values and wear them on your shirt sleeve or on your onion bag, for lack of a better word. But yeah, because I think it's a really valuable lesson for companies to understand how important this is, not only to the cause that you're working with, but to the culture of your company as well, because everybody's on top and everybody's on this mission and moving forward together. And I think it's just really powerful.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it was Jason Herndon. He is our CEO. He's Bo's nephew, and it was his idea a couple of years ago. And he told me his thoughts on doing something for the military and veterans. And it wasn't Gary Sinise. He just said, "Hey, why don't we do something? Let's do something. We need to do something." And so he kind of gave me that charge to find an organization that we could support. So this is our first year doing it and supporting them. We want this to be something we can build on year after year.
Absolutely.
So we've told our people about it. We told them it's coming. We haven't, because it's not that time yet. We haven't started packaging and
right.
all. So our people know it and they're excited about it, but they haven't seen it in action quite yet.
They will. So
it is coming. And,
you're going to be a couple days away. It's here it comes. And that's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see how well it does. I know you and I will go back and forth on it and to be able to see it out in the marketplace, because again, I think it's just such a powerful message. But, again, I think that the folks are excited about it because it's a chance for all of you together as an organization to give back and to believe in something, to work at a goal at something, and you can see that positive result. Not only is it a dollar amount, I get that, but what you're doing and why you're doing it is just super, super powerful. How about customers? You're already out talking, you're already ringing doorbells and all the retailers saying, "Here we come." Talk about that a little bit. How have the customers stepped up? What is it? What do they think of the idea? And because they got to be loving it, if I was guessing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, before we pulled the trigger and kind of finalized, we went to several of our core retail partners and told them what we were thinking to do, and all of them gave us thumbs up. Let's do it. We're excited. One, said we actually had Gary come to our home office a few years ago and talk, and we're totally behind it. So that was so encouraging for us to hear. Thinking we were doing the right thing, but also getting that encouragement from our customers to say,
"We're in." Yeah. So, the fact that the customers are stepping up has got to be so reassuring to you guys, taking that leap of faith once again, right? Bo's got to be just like going to the bank again with mom, right? Another leap of faith, successful. You're going to have a good promotion. It's a fantastic opportunity for people to step up and put the morals and values on their sleeves. Retailers as well, right? Consumers as well. So tell me, any final thoughts or what's next for you guys coming up the rest of this year?
Well, we feel like we're just on the cusp of getting our brand out there. I know we've been, when you've been in business 40 years, I know it sounds odd to say that, but I think there's a lot more we can offer as far as working with our retail partners on promotions and just the work we do as far as service and quality. So we got some people have joined our team. Actually, Bo's youngest daughter, Sky Herndon, is now helping me with marketing, and that's her main focus is getting our brand out there and what we do out there to the people that need to know about it. So
I love it.
We're entering definitely our busy season. We are doing Vidalia onion harvesting and shipping right now, but then we'll move into our sweet corn harvest and shipping 1st of June. So it's a busy time for us. It's funny how our crops are. We have Vidalia onions that is from a certain area, a particular area for just a certain amount of time. And
right.
We have retailers that, just really jump on it and promote it. We have sweet corn for the 4th of July. And, besides maybe watermelons, what better item to ship at that time. And then we have leafy greens for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So
I love it.
We have some items that really, retailers like to work with and promote for those type of holidays. So it keeps us on our toes, and
I love it.
It's a fun deal to be in.
That's beautiful, bro. Well, look, I'm excited for it. I appreciate you coming on, hanging out with me a little bit, sharing the story, because I think it needs to be told, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to do it. Promotional dates, May 16th to the 30th. For Memorial Day on the onions, and the 4th of July is from June 20th to July 4th. Step up, folks. Give them a call. Hit the website, vidaliasfinest.com. Reach out to John. Tell him you want to buy 10, 15 truckloads of onions. Just step up, make it happen, people. Let's go. Let's
Yes.
support the cause. Let's support the cause. Brother, I appreciate you being here and sharing with me today. I really do.
Thanks, Todd. We really appreciate the opportunity, not just myself, but our whole team. And thank you for your interest in what we're doing and promoting this.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you see it as well.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, brother. You're welcome. You have a home here anytime you want to talk. Come back. We're going to talk about the promotion next year when it's twice as big. That's my goal. We're going to keep talking about this until it just, that's all there is. That's all anybody does, buying Gary Sinise onions. That's it from here on out. I love it. Thanks everybody for being here this week. We appreciate you checking us out on Todd Bits. Remember, check us out on social media. That's where the cool kids are. Check out John over on social media. That's what the cool kids are there. Tell Scott she's there. She's ticking. Let's go. Make it happen, folks. That's how we grow this thing, is by connecting with each other, just like we do. Remember, go inspire somebody today. This story is inspiring. What Gary's doing is inspiring. What Herndon's doing is inspiring. Saying hello to somebody is inspiring. It's important that we do that every day. So go inspire somebody, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the airwaves soon. Take care. Be good, everybody. See ya.
Yeah.